My gosh, it got so much quieter.
It is, right? Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here for the first episode of Princesses of Skysea, where everyone except for me is a princess. Which is the opposite of real life, because I'm a princess and no one else is. That being said, we are here with a new cast. We are here with some familiar faces. We have Kai, who was here last season. We have Keith, who was here last season. We have a new face here. We have Natalie, who's here for the first time. And we have a very still shot of Sam, who you guys have seen around the channel. She is ill today, so she will be bowing out of today's session, but she'll be back as a princess next week. That being said, this is our first season. This is a fate game where I said everyone is playing princesses except for me. I'm playing an adorable vampire boy, and you'll tell me nothing otherwise. But if you look at your screen, you will see a new thing down there in the bottom right-hand corner. We're trying something new. So that is the Twist of Fate bar. And what happens when that bar fills is Keith gets to enact a Twist of Fate, which means he gets to run wild on us players and enact some kind of crazy nonsense. The other benefit of that is when that bar fills, or actually no matter when that bar fills, any amount of money raised in that bar gets paid out to these wonderful players here. So that's pretty awesome. You are helping us pay the cast, you're helping us give back to the guys who give us time every week to give you guys some fun entertainment, things like that. And if you guys want to support the channel directly, please check out our Patreon or subscribe here on Twitch. That being said, I'm done shilling. I'll turn things over to Keith to take us away to Skysea.
Yes. Welcome to Skysea. This is a She-Ra, Steven Universe, Star Butterfly, kind of all those feelings mashed up into one, set in the Masters of Umdaar setting, or with the Masters of Umdaar Fate Worlds book from Evil Hat, written by Dave Juria, and using Fate Accelerated rule set. So if you're into any of this, you can check that out at Evil Hat's website. But also, this is set in like an optimized, beautiful 80s where we're actually shilling toys in a cartoon. That's important to note, right? So we're opening with our theme song, which of course is involving a lot of electric guitar. Mike is actually working on getting a composer and everything for this.
Am I? I am now. Sure. I'm gonna go build a time writer in my basement and be cool like Matt Colville and make an electric song.
Yes. Of course, it has a lot of electric guitar, and I don't know, probably Tegan and Sarah or something is what I'm channeling. There's a lot of like thematic friendship and magic and joy.
But you gotta modernize it, like the electronic stops and it fades to ukulele, and that's how.
Yeah. Yes. Of course, the hipster ukulele.
Right.
Yeah. And in this, during this theme song playing, we're seeing our glorious cast of characters doing epic battle with some strange, mysterious, dark, shadowy creatures, shadowy robotic creatures. So give me, whoever wants to go first, give me the description of your character. Think like X-Men cartoon from the 90s where each character had like their one moment where they were like doing something crazy, right? This is the fun way to describe your character.
I was not prepared for this. Go for it.
I guess my character, you know, where they like create like a ball of magic in their hands and like it pushes out and then the ball of magic hits this shadowy creature and turns into chains and like, you know, and the camera like goes around, swirls around me. And then pans out to the evil, shadowy creature.
And there's a lot of like wind blowing your character's hair.
My hair is very She-Ra-ish.
And describe your character.
I'm a satyr, but a satress because I'm a girl. And I'm an illusionist. And I have long brown hair, black horns, yellow eyes. Obviously, I'm dressed as a magician. I would say I'm probably like 4 or 5, but I haven't really thought about that yet.
So Kai is just playing Kai with horns.
Yeah, essentially, that's exactly what it is.
That sounds right.
It checks out.
Check.
Yep. Cool. Wesley, where are we, Keith? Where are we fighting this shadowy creature?
in a weird science fantasy castle, of course.
Because I pictured
with a sun roiling overhead.
Because I pictured floating ship for some reason. So crazy castle, great. Way different than what I was gonna say.
Floating ship. I'm cool.
Yeah, no. We're doing crazy old castle, right? So
Keep
Wesley,
the castle. I have it planned for the castle.
Yeah. Wesley leaps down off the top of a staircase. As we hit the Twist of Fate bar. So Wesley leaps down off a staircase, and you see him like glide down as his cape, because he has one, furrows behind him, and he lands superhero pose, like one leg kind of out, and you see him like pull back on a bow, and then the arrow flies, and then you hear a voice that's not Wesley say, "Yeah, that'll hit him." And he looks down to the bow, and you can see there's a face on the bow, and he just sort of sighs and stands up as the arrow spins and the camera follows it as it hits the shadowy creature. Wesley has like slicked back black hair. He's got pointed ears. He's got grayish blue skin, jet black eyes, little red pupils, and he is a vampire boy. And that is who Wesley is. He's a good vampire boy.
That good vampire
boy. Good
vampire
boy.
Is he actually good?
He's a good boy.
I hope so. Otherwise, we're being the marketing on this guy is already way off.
Listen, I know we were talking about murdering people in Dungeons and Dragons, but Wesley's a good boy. Okay?
Good.
You leave him alone.
He's like Ken or something, right?
He's the paladin of vampires.
The paladin of vampire boys. Perfect.
He's a vampaladin.
The paladin. Oh God! But with a bow. Perfect.
A talking bow.
Yeah.
Played by Ryan Reynolds.
Played by Ryan
right?
Reynolds, yeah, of course. So it's a snarky talking bow played by Ryan Reynolds.
I expect no less.
I'm just wondering where Ryan is at this point.
It's Keith.
Oh.
I can't do it, right? I could do a Neil Diamond maybe, but not Ryan Reynolds.
Get practicing. We've set the bar now. This is where we're going.
The bow played by Ryan Reynolds, voiced by Neil Diamond.
What could possibly go wrong? Oh my goodness. So in this floating castle montage scene, you see just this stone wall that Vesper just kind of punches through. Because that is what she does. She's just going to punch through things. But so she punches through, blocks spraying everywhere. But there's also a mirror that's conveniently also there that she like checks out her makeup in while after going through this. And there's just this like glitter going through the air, sparkles, as she smiles and she's just happy to see her reflection.
Yes.
That is pretty, and she just kind of like poses a little bit. So Vesper, my little Glamazonian princess here, she is a tall, big, buff princess who swole. She is swole girl. She works out. I love her. And with long purple hair, bright purple eyes, a lot of like glowing kind of features, pale skin, and covered also in muscles and tattoos. And wears a like leather bodysuit because, as one does, that's also glitzed and glammed out.
Yes.
Very
perfect.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes. She punches her way in.
She totally does.
And then checks herself out in the mirror.
All I can think of is like the scene from like the old Fantastic Four when the thing just punches through a wall, except it's a Glamazon or just
yeah.
And then he like runs in.
If the thing was like a drag queen, like that's pretty much what's happening here.
Please, someone draw the thing as a drag queen.
Wearing this purple wig.
Obviously. Big eyelashes, falsies. It's great.
Just one time in the episode, she needs to be like, "Oh yeah," because.
Well, yeah, gonna figure that out now.
In the midst of this kind of roiling storm overhead, there's a shadowy form of what looks like a dark, haunted woods. Though all the trees are kind of like a bright blue and seem to be composed of like circuitry type patterns, right? And in the midst of this dark, weird digital woods is a looming shadow of a mantis-like figure laughing in the evil villain laugh of traditional 80s cartoons, right? Midnight mantis looming over everyone. And then we cut to an establishing shot of all of Skysea. is it's like an archipelago of floating islands suspended over the planet of Umdaar below. Some of these islands are being suspended by some kind of weird tower, science fantasy tower from the ancient races. Some are being suspended by a stream, like a river that's floating in the air. That's just weird, right? It's just confusing in the 80s. But we are zooming in past several of these different islands to one. At the top of the island is a lush forest. However, the camera is panning down to kind of the craggy side bottom of this floating island, where several airships are parked up against are anchored, are docked, I don't know, up against the side of the underside of the island. And we keep zooming in and see that that they're being unloaded into a tunnel in the side of the island. And we cut to inside a vast cavernous space. There's lines of badger people. Oh no, I didn't even think about that we're in the badger. I set this whole thing up for the badger queen, the princess. He's not even here. Oh. In any case, badgers are all lined up. Badger people.
I mean, I'm sure you can introduce her somehow. Maybe she's a stowaway.
Yeah, she's just hunting a bounty. It didn't occur to me until now, but it'll still work. So badger people are in line to enter a huge big top tent in the midst of this huge cavernous space. And a narrator voiced by Neil Diamond perhaps it explains the Badger Queendom had closed borders for many years, but recently has opened up to accommodate a very popular circus. Kai, what's your circus named? Put you on the spot. I didn't come up with a name for it, and it's your circus.
The Circus.
The Circus.
I love it. I'd go.
I don't know
No, that's great. It's so nice we named it twice.
The Circus.
That's our tagline.
That's the tagline.
That's the tagline.
The circus so nice we named it twice.
Yeah.
Perfect. So there's a huge sign that says Circus on the outside of it. And everybody's kind of filing into this circus. So many badger people. Inside the big top tent, there are musicians playing some kind of strange badger instruments. I would ask my badger princess. I don't know what instruments do you think badgers would play, you guys? Is xylophones with their claws?
Bagpipes.
Oh.
Bagpipes. And it's the 80s, so I think a lot of synth.
Yeah,
There's
obviously.
at least one ukulele.
Synth bagpipes. Everyone's heard of the synth bagpipe. All the rage.
And we pan to the entrance and see a badger who holds up a claw, and the music does a natural pause, and he is a crier of some kind. And so in the pause, in the silence that follows, he says, "Princess Vesper and Sir Wesley." And we see Princess Vesper and Sir Wesley enter. You guys already have described your characters. Why are you here in the Badger Queendom?
Why are we here? And he whispers into his cloak, hoping for some kind of response.
Perhaps you do have an old princess friend who's a badger princess that maybe you're visiting. Also, this queendom has been isolated and has closed borders for a time. So perhaps you're negotiating some kind of peace or seeking out an artifact of some kind here. I don't know. What do you guys...
All of those sound like great reasons, but you couldn't have picked just one. Okay. No.
Vesper's watching him speak into his cloak and is like...
It's fine. No, it's fine. Shut up. It's fine. It's fine. We're friends with a princess. and there we like your border.
Yeah, what he said.
I was just curious.
Great, me too.
It's been a long time since we've had visitors here.
Yeah. Oh, closed border. Yeah, closed borders.
Thanks for opening them up.
Well, my queen Claudia, Lady Claudia,
God damn.
with a W, Claudia. You're welcome. She loves herself a good circus. So when we heard tell of the Circus passing through the area, she made an exception. And he shows you to your guys' seats up at the front long table, though seated a distance away from Queen Claudia because she holds some kind of grudge against your merry band of princesses from days of old when you were young. I'm curious what that is, but we'll think that through.
I have no idea what you're talking
Why Claudia has a out to get you guys, but so you guys are seated at the front. There's these musicians playing on the stage, and next to you is a Prince Pyle, who you guys you've all been around the royal courts as children, right? And know basically all the different princes and princesses of the queendoms. And he is from a queendom of gelatinous people. So he is a gelatinous cube with limbs, basically. And is like, oh, old friends, I haven't seen you in a long time. Vesper, Lady Vesper.
I'm just curious, Keith. What does gelatinous finery look like?
Yeah, I'm a little curious.
How's he
this.
dressed?
Please describe.
What's the fashion sense of this cube boy?
Yeah, there isn't actually any clothes per se, but there are.
That's awful forward.
Oh, well, there are accessories floating around
inside. Oh, good.
Like, imagine that's your job as the servant, assuming they're not like acidic cubes. You just like, this necklace, my liege. Looks great.
I just imagine there's a monocle floating around in there.
Where the eyes should be.
Check time and a watch as well.
They're just anatomically correct for a cube. Just 5 rings and on one side.
Oh, goodness.
What is this game? Okay, this is episode 1, guys. Vesper, I think he knows you.
Yep, I don't remember his name.
He's very see-through.
Yep, that part I remember. This is new.
Is he naked?
Maybe. I don't know how you'd put clothes on him, though.
Are you guys talking about me?
Hi!
No.
Prince?
I know my anatomy is strange, but I can still hear you.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Wow.
It's so good to see you. It's been forever. So long that I think you should introduce your name to my dear friend Wesley here.
Because I'm here too.
Oh, Wesley, I'm Prince Pyle. He reaches out a slimy appendage.
Oh.
Appendage.
I reach out and I fist bump him. Oh, nice to meet you, Prince Pyle.
Yeah. Apparently.
You didn't think that's a little on the nose or cube or no one thought that
I don't
through.
think they're very creative with their children's names.
Princess Yuck.
Well, in any case.
Is that his sister? I was making that up. I had no idea. I'm sorry about your sister.
There's like 12 of them. Just
Which one?
Yep. Nice
What
meeting
happened?
you.
all of them.
I'm gonna sit.
Food is brought out before you guys.
God.
They are pies in which you can kind of sense that there's some wiggling going on with them underneath the pastry crust.
I'm not 100% confident, but I think the pie is made out of his sisters.
That is some creative catering.
I don't want to eat them.
I don't either, but I'm hungry.
Okay, you first.
Okay, I'm going to try to eat one of the pies.
One of the sisters.
You slice into it, and it is a badger pie that's filled with worms and various different insects, and has been baked in a fashion like those old bird pies that they didn't kill the insects inside.
Oh. I kind of just look at it and I'm like,
I'm not eating that.
yeah. I mean protein, and she'll take a bite of it anyways. Bend it.
A fanfare sounds, and a figure steps onto the center stage, and wearing the top hat, luminous Luna, standing in your midst, is announced by the crier. And you guys recognize her, though have never heard her by that name. She is Princess Poppy of the Satyr Queendom. However, she's among the circus and begins a performance. Kai, what does this performance look like?
She's going to have an assistant who is a very short gnome, and tied up in the typical like very cool magic tricks, tied up in chains, and she's able to undo them, dunked in a tank of water, and she can levitate and that kind of stuff.
That kind of stuff. After this is completed, one of the guards who's seated next to the queen, Lady Claudia.
You're the worst.
Sorry. To stress it. Who's seated kind of at a distance away from you guys. But you're all seated at this royal table towards the front row, basically, right? He stands and has these like crescent shaped blades in hand, and starts juggling them as if to like outshine Luna altogether. And a lot of the badgers start applauding. They were like silent when your number finished, and several of the badgers start clacking their claws together.
Luna's going to, can I interrupt him? Sorry.
Yeah.
She wants to levitate the knives from like his juggling and then like shoot them across like all of the stage and into like a tree, I'm assuming maybe that's over there, not to be outdone.
Yes. All right. We should roll dice because we're playing a role
with the sass,
right?
Say yes.
Yeah.
So this is probably a great game to watch if you've never played Fate before, because we haven't.
We don't know what we're doing.
Us either. Great. You're fine. I've heard of this game.
So, Fate uses four dice that have plus, minus, or blanks on them, and you are rolling them and then adding a stat to it. And in Fate Accelerated, we're using approaches, which is, if you think of D&D terms, these are like attributes, right? This is like Dex, Strength, Con, except where you have careful, clever, flashy. So whenever you're taking an action, you're describing it as I'm doing this cleverly, or I'm doing this flashily, And a lot of times you can narratively justify whatever your highest stat is, right? You're like, my highest stat's flashy, so I'm doing just about everything flashily. But oftentimes it's like, okay, if you're sneaking, that doesn't make any sense that you're doing it flashily, right? So
that's what you think.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna do it forcefully. Just you wait.
Have you seen Nightcrawler? He's pretty flashy.
It's actually
and teleports.
Yeah. So most of the time, you're choosing basically between 4 different types of actions, which are pretty broad categories, right? And these are on the bottom of your guys' Roll20 screen, players. So we've got overcome, which is kind of your broad, every kind of situation you're trying to defeat or overcome an obstacle, right? Creating an advantage is like setting you up for a future roll, right? It's creating an advantage. Perhaps if you're fighting someone, you're creating an advantage by getting the higher ground or by tying them up or something like that, right? It's going to
creating an advantage, like use our turn up that round. Is that what that is? Okay.
Yeah. But then it will create an aspect that will be put out on the board that you can tap into to get a bonus on a future action. So it could be like, I'm entering a meditative state in order to better cast a spell on the next round, right? It's very narrative and like mechanics light. So and then attack and defend is obvious, right? In this case, we're just going to be doing overcome actions because this is kind of a competition. So you're just going to be rolling off with this fool. Sounds good. Does that explain? We got it all.
Yeah. Say words all
for now.
Thanks, audience and players, for bearing with info dump of mechanics there.
Yeah. The trick to any role-playing game, guys, is just say enough words until the DM tells you what to do.
That sounds like you're doing this.
That's what I do. Is I just say enough words at you until you say, yeah, roll this thing. All right, done.
So how are you approaching this this crazy magic that you're doing, Kai?
I think flashy, because I don't want to be outdone. Yes.
Cool. So you can click the little die next to flashy. Excellent. And this guy is pretty forceful. Oh no, he's not a laser wolf. Ignore that. No, he's not a laser wolf.
Not yet.
We don't know anything about these laser wolves.
I feel like this is foreshadowing.
Maybe. So in a situation where after you've already rolled, if you want to get a better result, you can spend a fate token, which we have out on our little boards here that I didn't put names by, so that's super helpful. But you can also, it's on your character sheet where it says current under like the logo of Fate Accelerated. You can spend it from there. But you spend a fate token and you have to narratively justify using aspects, which like are aspects of your character, right? Why you would be better in this particular situation, right? You're like, well, I'm a illusionist. I'm a satyr illusionist. I'll have to pull up your character sheet to see exactly what aspects, but
yeah, I want to do that. I'm trained in the circus. So obviously I'm prepared for like shows and kind of doing the unexpected. So I'm going to want to re-roll to do better. And
yes, well, you could re-roll. You could also just add a +2 to the roll. This is under invoking on the like bottom right of the text on the Roll20. So you're invoking an aspect to give you a +2. You're narratively being like, because I was trained in the circus, I get a +2 on this roll. And it's kind of a narrative, like, is it narratively justified? Yes. So I bought it. So then you would succeed against him. So the crowd is wowed by this. It seems like they weren't totally impressed by your performance before, but now that you've taken kind of more of a martial angle and are like sending these knives flying through the air and striking into wood with a thuck, they're impressed and are cheering for Luna. And also those among the crowd that are with your circus are like cheering for you as well, lending their voices. Congratulations on the first roll of this campaign.
I don't know if this is part of the show or not. Are they fighting for real?
I don't know.
If one of those blades hit the jelly prince, do you think he would become two princes?
Isn't that how they have kids?
Gross.
Yeah.
I wish this wasn't worms.
What if it gets stuck in him?
Oh, then how do you get it out?
You don't.
Does he eat it?
That would be gross. That wouldn't, like, that would taste worse than the pie.
That'd be gross. You're doing great!
Good job! I think I know her.
I don't know why I'm here. I still don't know why I made that up.
Yeah, I could tell.
Thanks.
And I don't pay much attention, so I could tell.
Shit.
You, Mike, you are here because you are. I should have told you that, huh? That would have been helpful information.
I assume I'm escorting a princess, and I'm judging
Yes.
by now. I am assuming it's Vesper, but he doesn't know other than that why she's here, and she doesn't seem to either.
No, she got told to show up somewhere and look pretty, so she did.
Yeah, and
That's
Wesley
a
got
perfect
told.
enough reason.
Yeah, and Wesley got told to make sure she, of all people, stays safe. He's like, oh, all right.
How
Yeah,
tall is Wesley? Because I just like.
He's like 5'5". He's a small
Okay,
boy.
yeah, and so she's got like a good foot on him, probably. So it's a great like.
And he's
But
like
I never-
wiry. He's like he's a small boy. Yeah.
And she's bulky, so it's gonna be perfect. She's like twice the size of him in every respect.
Yeah. They're like,
But you're
watch out for her.
not
She'll keep her safe. I'm like, yeah, all right.
Oh yeah, she needs help.
You serve as her companion, but also a guide in case travel through the Hyperwoods is necessary, which the Hyperwoods are a fast travel method in the Skysea that is very dangerous because there are a lot of undead roving there. It is the source of undead.
Terrible, those creatures.
I also get lost really easy. So
Yes, people, any kind of people who are not undead, right, get lost very easily. So,
I just get lost easily. Period. I got lost 3 times on the way to the front door. So
It was a straight line.
what? You were trying to lead me there too, and I'm like, but this nope.
You saw a mirror in a room as the door was. Oh,
got distracted.
Yeah.
who's that?
Either a mirror or a wall to smash. If it was one of those two things, she got real distracted real fast.
This badger who has stepped forward and was juggling these blades is gravely insulted by the situation that he's being outperformed. So he lunges for you, Luna, with these curved blades and makes an attack at you. So you can make a defend action in retaliation, which you just it's like every other roll. You're like, how are you defending? Are you defending quickly? Are you defending flashily by, shining a brilliant light at him as he's moving towards you? Or are you being sneaky, whatnot?
I want to defend flashfully. And I'm going to do just like the 80s spin out of the way, my hair and my tailcoat, kind of flowing. And then I want to snap my fingers and I want his blades to turn into like bouquets of flowers.
Yes. Cool. Let's do the defend first, and then you can roll again after that to do that.
Do I just roll the same thing? The flashy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it. Yeah, as long as it makes narrative sense, then you can use whatever approach you want.
And then earlier when I used the +2, I needed to bring down my current to 4, right?
Yes. Sorry. So you spent a fate token, which you get at the start of every session. You'll get 5 fate tokens, right? And you can also get them through compels, which would basically be me convincing you, or you saying, I would like to cause some trouble in this situation based on some aspect of my character, right? You're like, well, because I'm trained in the circus, I might ruin this situation by having to outperform everyone, right? And then I would give you a fate token. That's a compel, so that you can kind of fish for fate tokens by like causing trouble, if that makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Natalie won't get in any trouble with that.
This will not go to absolute chaos at all.
Okay, so you tied. So basically nothing, no damage or whatnot is exchanged. You guys, how were you defending again? Narratively? I can't hear you, Kai, you're muted.
Oh, I'm not muted anymore. That's not my character's voice. That's
what it is now.
It is now.
I spun out of the way, and then his daggers turned to flowers.
Yes. Okay. Well, they start to turn to. One of them turns to flowers. The other one is poised near you because we tied, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's holding the flower in one hand and the blade like near your cheek in the other, and the audience just all bursts out laughing, and you hear the clacking of badger claws applauding and whatnot. And he looks really angry for a moment, but then glances over at the audience and realizes that everybody is kind of enjoying this, and so respectfully like nods to you and then goes back and sits down.
And I, kind of being fueled by the performance, want to like wink at him, and then I want one of the flowers to like squirt him in the face.
Awesome.
Flower.
You don't have to roll for that. Cool. It just happened.
Yeah.
Good.
I still don't know if that was part of the show or not.
Me neither.
I'm glad no one died.
Yeah, especially Cube guy. Cube Prince Kyle. Yeah, there we go.
Do you have a thing for him?
No. He's a little too square, quite literally.
Yeah, it's not hip to be a square.
No, not at all. Also, the floating monocle kind of throws me off a little bit.
I think you could get it out of there, though.
I know, but then I just want the monocle.
Do we want? Is that why we're here?
Maybe. I really don't remember why we're here.
To retrieve the prince's monocle?
Are they close enough that I can hear them?
I don't think so, because it's like this loud
circus
commotion of the big top.
It's like a whole circus.
You can see them talking though, and I guess if you moved up closer.
No, that's okay. They can continue.
But if you look towards us, Vesper's probably going to try to call you.
Yeah, like we're just talking and then pointing at this gelatinous cube, and we're pointing, and then we look. We're not discreet, I feel like.
Really not?
I feel like Vesper can't be discreet. She's purple hair and she's like 6'8", so.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, I'm way late on this twist of fate. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just hit us with it. We deserve it.
Oh, yeah.
At this point.
If we get death by gelatinous cube, I wouldn't actually be surprised at this point, considering.
There is, Wesley, you sense a disturbance, a rift opening somewhere nearby from the Hyperwoods.
What does that mean? I like all the words you said and how they sound, but what does that mean?
We know those are words, but...
It's world building. Hashtag world building.
It sounds terrible, is what it sounds like.
It's similar to like the Shadowfell or something, right? It's like another plane that is sometimes used to travel. Oftentimes there's like portals that people will step into. I literally just made this stuff up.
Okay,
so
I'm fine with that. I'm hanging on, man. You got me. I'm on the edge of my chair. You can hear the
Can I
squeaks.
punch it? That's all I want to know.
So what happens when a rift opens up to the Hyperwoods?
It's not a thing that is normally done because it is dangerous.
Great.
Right? It is.
For the record, I picture the Hyperwoods as 32-bit trees that are black and green, and like lime green, like that bright, like neon green. That's how I picture Hyperwoods. They're data trees.
Exactly. I was describing in the opening, in the clouds, the swirling clouds, the blue like circuitry kind of looking trees. That is the Hyperwoods, right?
Black and green is way more evil than black and blue. So I feel that a rift is opening up nearby. How nearby can I sense?
Not in this tent, but somewhere in this cavernous space.
That sounds like Badger people's problem. Wesley is the goodest boy here. He leans over and he says, "I think there's going to be trouble. I don't know what kind of trouble it is, but it's going to be trouble."
Can I punch it?
I don't know. I think you can punch part of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, if you see it, let me know.
Well,
and I'll punch.
It's outside the tent.
Oh, that's so far.
Yeah.
And I want to say hi to Princess Poppy or Luna. I don't know what she's going by these days.
Who's that?
The one with the top hat.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a princess.
He just waves. He just waves like across the stadium. Okay, so what I think happened is that a rift opened up to the Hyperwoods, and I don't know what that means because it doesn't normally happen. And also, I think that bad things can come out of it, like bad undead. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you can punch those, but also I don't know how to close it.
Can I punch it closed?
I don't think so. I think we need magic, which is ironic because the top hat lady is magic.
Yeah. So
Excuse me! Top hat lady!
We could, for narrative simplicity, cut to being in Luna's tent. You guys, as friends, go and meet her after her performance is over. Does that sound like a good?
I feel like she's walking off stage feeling great. The badger's wet, and she just hears, "Lady! Top hat lady!"
I'm definitely acting like I don't know that name and like avoiding eye contact by like looking at the ceiling.
Probably good.
I don't think she can hear us.
I don't think so. I'm impressed. We're really loud.
I thought so too. Should we go find her?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Vesper and Wesley are gonna be the best buddy cop film ever, by the way.
He slowly pushes the pie away. And right to like the edge of the table, and that way when his cloak whooshes, it falls. Oh no!
Oh no!
And then he just walks away.
Prince Pyle lunges out and manages to catch it, and it sinks into his noodly appendage, and he's like, "Oh, you almost dropped this! Did you want to eat this?"
You got it, man. Cute.
Oh, you!
You're the best, Wesley.
Yep.
Close enough. Let's go.
And he leaves. Keith, this is all your fault.
You guys managed to track down Luna in her backstage tent.
Oh my god! Hi, top hat lady.
Hi. I don't know if you remember me. We kind of knew each other as kids. I was not that much shorter, but
I mean,
yeah, you guys.
How could I forget someone like you?
I don't know, but you didn't seem to know us earlier. Well, me. I guess you don't really know him. He's Wesley.
Hi, I'm Wesley.
I don't know how I know him either, but we're best friends now.
I know her mom.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, you're magic, and you have a top hat. Those are non-exclusive things. I just wanted to say the other one because it was really nice. Also, there's a rift that opened up to the Hyperwood, and it's bad. And I think that undead might come out of it and attack all the Badger people and kill them unless we stop it. But that's just I made that all up. I mean, I made up the last part. The rift is actually real, and that's happening right now. And someone should probably stop it. I think it needs magic.
Yeah, because I can only punch so much.
Yeah, and she can't punch magic.
I don't really think that that's my responsibility.
But I don't know anyone else does magic, and I can't shoot magic, and she can't punch magic, and you can magic. I don't know how it works.
Pretty sure that's how that works.
I circus, not close holes.
Yeah, but how do you know unless you try?
And if you don't help, I'm pretty sure that the undead that are going to come through are just going to kill everybody. Because that's
including the circus.
That's what they do, I think.
In the corner of the tent, the gnome who was your assistant, he steps from behind like a cabinet or chest of drawers that he was like changing behind, and he's like, I think I'm just gonna leave. You guys are making me uncomfortable. Are these your friends, Luna?
Oh, co-ed tent's progressive.
I barely.
Yeah, we're friends. Like old friends. It's been forever.
Don't forget your socks on your way out.
Oh, okay, Lady Luna. Anyway.
Performance?
How often does he forget his socks?
Why were they off?
Oh, I don't know.
Because she was so magic, she knocked them off.
Knock the socks off!
That's where that comes from.
Yep.
See, if you can knock a gnome's socks off, you can close a rift.
You totally can. I believe in you. Princess Poppy or Luna, I don't know. What name do you go by? Do you have a preferred name? I'm sorry.
Now I go by Luminous Luna, Mistress of Magic. I don't go by Poppy anymore.
Oh.
Okay. Luminous Luna. Cool. Feel like I should make my name more fancy. I'm just Vesper.
Yeah. But everything, the rest of you's fancy, so I feel like it makes up for it.
Yeah.
Hey, do undead just kill people like all the time? Is that what they do? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, they do. That's what they do. I had to confirm.
Who are you
talking to?
Yeah. You keep doing that.
My bow.
Your what?
My bow.
He's been doing this for years, Vesper.
I probably ask him this every time too.
Yeah, my bow.
Eating something you aren't supposed to.
No, the pie was made out of worms.
Oh yeah, don't eat the pie.
No, I have a bow that talks. Is that not? You have magic hands.
Yes.
She has purple hair and can punch through walls.
Yeah.
Why is the talking bow always the weirdest thing in the room?
I think just because of its attitude.
That's why it's in the cloak.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
He's rude sometimes.
All the time.
I mean, unless he tells me I'm pretty, in which case that's fine. But otherwise, he's rude.
The bow is rude? I'm a little lost in your conversation.
The bow is rude. Yeah, he's a rude bow. I don't know why. I'm stuck with him.
I'm just always a little lost. It's okay. But together, we can find a way to close the rift. Yeah. Yay!
I mean, I'll show you my bow if you help us close the rift.
That's not really a great deal.
It's a fair trade. It's not every day you see a talking bow, apparently. That's what everyone keeps saying.
Come on. You know, old time's sake, we can go close the rift that we've never closed rifts before, but let's pretend we did, and it could be for old time's sake.
Yeah.
If it means I can leave faster, I suppose.
Yeah. Totally will.
Definitely does mean you could leave as soon as you want to close the rift.
I suppose.
Great. Okay.
Perfect.
I have no idea where it is, but I think it's leftish. I think it's this way. I think it's over here.
Yeah, you can kind of follow your feeling.
Yeah, I feel like it's in this direction. I'm emotionally drawn to this area over here, and it sounds terrible or feels real bad. Okay, great, let's go. And he starts to slowly saunter over there.
We'll follow
you guys,
where we're going. How do you? Is the bow telling you where we're going?
No.
He just knows these things.
Yeah, undead can sense other undead stuff.
You
that works.
know things, and you have a talking bow.
Well, I mean, I know like a normal amount of
Vesper,
things, but like I also like have undead stuff going on, and then I have a talking bow. Yeah.
I would be careful about the company you keep, Vesper.
Her mom said.
Why? Yeah, he's my bodyguard.
My name's Wesley.
Wesley.
Mm-hmm.
And you're Vesper's bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If I can't punch through it, he can shoot through it typically.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you shoot with the bow. It's not just a talking bow.
Yeah, it's like a bow. Like what else would you do with a bow?
Talk to it, evidently.
Well, I mean, not every bow, just this one specific bow.
I mean, have you tried talking to other bows?
I don't. That seems weird. I didn't try to talk to this one either. It just started yelling at me.
Oh, that's fair. That's a way to start a friendship.
Your mom just keeps giving it to me over and over again.
Yeah.
I've tried to get rid of it.
She's got weird gifts, okay?
Yeah, no, I know. I've only gotten the one, but it's the worst.
Don't tell her that. She'll get really upset.
What's she gonna do, kill me?
Ooh, have you seen her?
Well, you got me.
All right, I hate to cut this conversation short, but let's continue.
All right.
Is that a joke about his height?
I mean, he's taller than me.
I'm
How tall are you?
I'm like 5'5".
Yeah, you're taller than me then.
Everyone's shorter than Vesper, though.
That's everybody shorter than us.
Like pocket size.
Tentacle Amazon.
Come on. Okay, I think it's this way. And he starts to
Alright,
walk.
you follow your feeling
I follow my nose.
of the Hyperwoods Rift. And you guys are passing through this is kind of like the carnies, right? These are the carnival people. So everybody is waving at Luna. There's like an elephant man who's like practicing his standing on top of a tiny ball, who waves, hi Lady Luna, as you walk past.
He's an
And
elephant man.
you're moving.
That's great.
Yeah, there's everything. It's the kitchen sink world.
Yeah.
And after a time, you get to the outskirts of the tents, right? And you're entering kind of the city proper. The space that this is all underground, and the space that the tent was in was like a huge cavernous kind of a gathering space that is often used for big festivals and whatnot. And it's in the outskirts of the city of the borough city of Badgerdonia or whatever.
Badgerdonia is beautiful.
Badgerdonia. I was planning on having people name their queendoms whenever it occurred, but I'll just go with Badgerdonia.
That's perfect.
I mean, and you're following your nose, and it's leading you up towards the Queen's Keep.
The Queen's Keep. The Queen of Badgerdonia.
Cookies.
Yeah. Lady Claudia.
Well, on the bright side, Lady Claudia's in the tent still doing circus stuff. So hopefully we can just sneak in. Can you magically teleport people?
Can you?
No.
Oh,
Oh.
that'd be really useful.
Yeah. What can you do?
All the things you saw before.
Oh. Okay.
Cool.
So I think we have to find a badger with swords so that she can use the swords to,
Turn them into flowers?
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how she's actually going to help with the rift thing.
I can hear you.
Oh,
Yeah, Leslie, we need to work on our indoor voices.
I was using my whisper voice and everything.
Yeah, we were really not good with those ones.
I think it's because you're so far away. My
Yeah.
whisper voice is way louder than it normally should be. Anyway, I don't know how to get inside the castle. Wait, you're a princess.
Yeah?
Yeah,
And you are not.
right. But you can just say, I'm a princess, and I think they just let you into castles. That's how it's always worked before, right?
I mean, I just sometimes punch my way through a wall, and that's how I get into anything.
I feel like maybe don't punch your way into the queendom of the Badger people? Badger Queen Castle? Castle Badger?
Why not?
Castle
It kind of looks like it's a
Badger
little
Castle?
bit easier to punch into than most other castles. I mean, it seems like it's all made out of wood as opposed to most of them, which are normally stone. So I feel like that's going to be a little less painful than usual.
I think the Badger people are going to be mad that you punched a hole in their castle.
Why? I'm just making a new door.
But no one asked for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Right. Yeah.
I think this is why my mom said you should come along.
Right? Something about adventure. And I was like, all right. I wasn't doing anything else. Just talking to this bow.
That she gave you.
Hanging out.
Show up in Badgerdonia and look pretty.
Yeah.
Done and done.
I think my mom was just trying to get me out of the house, to be honest.
You just keep punching through walls in the Glamazonian kingdom. You just keep making new doors. It's like, you have to go. You have to have an adventure. Just get out.
Go on an adventure. We need to rebuild the castle a little bit. So we need you out for a couple of months, okay, sweetheart?
It's like Pokemon. You're 10. Brave the wilds. Catch wild animals.
Go
Put 'em in
for
balls.
it.
What?
Make doors. Make doors in other people's castles for a bit.
Kai, I'm sorry for whatever this is.
All right, you guys are standing in front of this castle.
Yeah,
There's
tactically standing in front of the castle.
Opting right in front of it. Opting to not make a new door.
I imagine there's Badger guards with like full like Badger armor, and they have like spears, and they're just we're like shouting distance so they can hear us. Just talking about how to get in.
They're up on the ramparts wearing armor and pointed helmets.
Yeah.
The burrow wardens.
Burrow
and
wardens, get out.
And they're peering down at you guys curiously.
Okay, I can't get us in. I think it has to be one of you. You're a wizard and you're a princess. Or you're both princesses.
Yeah, we're both princesses.
Okay,
I mean, I don't really advertise that anymore.
okay.
Oh, why not?
Personal reasons.
Okay, then I'm just gonna use the princess excuse this time.
That works great.
Hi! I'm a princess and I need to get in. Princess reasons.
Sorry, the castle's closed.
Even for a princess.
Yeah, even for a princess. The queen is out of the castle, and we can't confirm whether she wants anybody in or not. This is not a usual thing. We haven't dealt with visitors in a long time.
She's from the circus, and you can tell by her top hat, and she's a wizard, and the queen wanted a special secret private audience performance, a private performance with the wizard, with the top hat wizard, and we're here to escort her so that she gets there safely.
Yeah.
From the queen, she's in the tent.
She'll be coming along shortly, right?
We needed time to set up the top hat.
Thank you.
Ah.
See?
It
That
sounds
top
like
hat
you
is
guys
gonna
are
wear
trying
itself.
to convince them, right?
Can I convince forcefully?
Yes, I mean, like it's a intimidation, right?
Yeah.
Forceful convincing somebody, yeah. And this is overcoming an obstacle, one of the actions, right? So you could approach convincing someone by making just one outright roll, or if people wanted to work together, every person who works similar to D&D, right? You're like, I'm aiding this person; they'll get a +1 to their roll, or you can create advantages by narratively coming up with like, I'm gonna butter this guy up, or I'm gonna compliment him, or whatnot. That would narratively make sense to create an advantage for someone to convince somebody.
Yeah, I will aid in the crafted lie. I'm not aiding that.
Vesper's gonna aid by trying to be like, yeah, I'm way taller than all of you, so you really should just let us in.
And so Luna is making our roll. Is that what's up?
Yeah.
I feel like Wesley should.
Sure, I'll make a
He's
roll.
the one who can-
I will
but
make
I
a
will
roll.
aid by like creating a little fireball in my hand or something impressive.
So if I got 2 +1s from being aided, I did a great job. So far, Wesley's
Excellent.
off to a great start.
A great result.
Yeah.
What are you trying? What do you want inside the castle again?
The queen, she said the top hat was such a great performance. Luna. Anyway, she's a wizard, and the queen said that her wizard performance was so great that she beat a badger with swords, and then that she should come give a private audience to the queen. It's a private performance. She wants a private performance of magic. So we're gonna set up.
That does sound awfully lot like something Claudia would want.
Right?
Yeah.
Private audiences, that's what every queen wants. Who doesn't want their own private wizard?
Yeah.
The gate
You're doing great.
groans as it opens.
Yes.
And on the other side, one of the burrow wardens greets you guys.
Oh, hi. Are you the
You're
guy that
so
was-
tall.
Oh.
I didn't think people would be so tall.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, her. That makes sense.
I get that a lot. I'm like a few of you tall. It's pretty great.
And so sparkly too.
If you have anything on like a really high shelf, I'm really good for that.
That's true. Or if you want something hidden on a really high shelf.
Or if you need a new door. I'm really good at new doors.
You don't.
You just let me know. I can make a new door happen in like any room in this castle. You just let me know. I'm your girl.
Okay, I'm gonna show you to the Queen's performance hall.
Oh
then.
yeah, right. Okay, good.
I don't think we need any new doors, but I'll keep that in mind. and he leads the way. You guys following this dude?
Yeah. I mean, she's probably getting a little distracted if there's any mirrors or anything reflective at all along the way.
It's like a carrot on a stick. It's the spear that he's holding is just shiny enough because they never used it. They never have visitors. It's a walking mirror that just bobs along.
Yep.
And it's a
Yep.
spear, so it's at your head height.
It's perfect.
The light like reflects off of it and creates rainbows on the wall sometimes.
It's beautiful.
What is this?
We are never going to accomplish anything. It's going to be great. I don't know what you're talking about.
Episode 1, we got to the rift.
Sorry. I'm just letting you guys go.
That's fine.
Don't
That's what
worry.
I
The
do.
big bad is actually just going to be a giant wall that I need to make into a door one day.
Perfect.
I see where the story is going. I'm here for this.
What's the D&D mimic? That's the wall. It's the one that becomes walls. That's the one.
It just envelops you like the whole floor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
dumb. As you're walking towards the performance hall, you're passing by what you feel like you feel like you're getting close, Wesley, to the rift.
Okay.
And you're passing by what seems to be like royal chambers of some kind. And you definitely get the feeling as you pass by one of them that it is in there.
Is there anything special about this chamber, or is it just like a room in a castle?
Yeah, it seems like a regular. I mean,
There's no like
yes,
angsty teen placard on the wall that says like "Keep out, mom," something like that. Nothing, not one of those.
Yeah, actually, it's exactly that.
Perfect.
It just has like a skull and crossbones, like a no symbol and a badger.
And it says Dahlia's room.
Yeah.
And you guys know Dahlia is Honey's sister.
The angsty teen sister. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
I think I found it. It's in the evil badger room.
Wait, what? Why is there an evil badger room?
You're loud. We're doing the whisper thing again.
I don't know. I have one volume. You're really short.
I'm
Don't
sorry.
hear me.
I can't get bigger.
We should talk to Luminous Luna and see if she's got a growth thing.
Hey, you have a growth thing? You have a growth?
No, I cannot make you grow.
Oh. Just the flowers, huh? Excuse me, Mr. Barrow Badgerton?
He's a good 20 feet down the hall past you guys and turns and looks and shuffles back. And, what seems to be the matter? Strange tall people.
What's in this room?
Oh, that's Dahlia's room. She was feeling sick and didn't want to go to the circus.
You have a room for dollies? That's weird.
No, Princess Dahlia.
Yeah, Princess Dollies.
Well, why don't we go in there and just give her a couple, shows of magic since she wasn't feeling good to cheer her up.
Yeah, I heard magic makes you better.
Totally.
I don't know if that's a great idea.
I think
she was very sick.
Okay, but like how sick? Come on.
I didn't see her, but she does tend to be sick a lot.
You know what I've actually heard? It's a weird thing, and I learned it on my way over here when I was studying about your close borders, and I
From his bow.
From my bow, who knows a lot about all kinds of things. Thank you very much, Top Hat.
I did notice you talking to it a lot.
Yeah, no, what I learned is
that.
that badger sicknesses and diseases are incommunicable to people that aren't badgers. So we can go in there and we'll never get sick because we're not badgers. So we could go in there and we could go.
This guy?
Yeah, I'm absolutely trying to convince this guy. We could go in there and it would be fine, and we won't get sick, and we'll make her feel better, and then you'll have two princesses that aren't sick.
Sounds like clever.
It is clever. That's what I'm going for. A 3.
Awesome. You guys are rolling so well.
I haven't rolled yet. It's great.
That's perfect.
My track record is perfect.
You're killing it.
Oh yeah.
There is a strange, sad thing about fate that there's minus dice. So sometimes you just roll like all negatives, and then you're like, I have a 0 on the dice, like after adding my bonus, which I find to be sad sometimes. But in any case, he says, well, I could see some magic performance, cheer Dahlia. She does seem really into magic from what I have.
Who isn't? Come on.
But we should be quick and don't tell anybody about this.
No, and you stay outside because badger sickness.
Yeah, we can't have you get sick because then who's going to take us through the castle?
Exactly.
And then I'll be stuck making doors.
And nobody wants that.
Apparently so.
Okay. He's just some dumb guard. He's a burrow warden, and he opens the door. However, the sight as the door opens chills your hearts because there is an open rift into the Hyperwoods. It's as if there's just a rip in the open air, a tear in reality, and through it you can see the dark, haunted, neon blue glowing trees of the Hyperwoods and shadowy creatures stalking along the edges of the rift. And within the room, Princess Dahlia is being held by Vesper, your sister.
Dun, dun,
Oh, no.
dun.
Oh dear.
Who has been missing for many years. She got lost in the Hyperwoods.
I mean, it could have been just originally acceptable if she got lost because that just runs in the family. But
It does run in the family, and that's why they send Wesley with you, because your parents are a little paranoid.
we lost one kid this way. We can't lose another one.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear.
However,
stock of the Glamazon Kingdom.
she is showing the same kind of traits that Wesley does of vampirism.
Ooh, that's bad.
And she's being guarded by several several wolves. You guys are known in what did we call it? Frovia? Your kingdom, Vesper?
No. You named it Frovia. I renamed it.
Okay, what did you rename it?
Maria.
Baria? Umaria. Numeria. Sorry.
I don't know. I went through a random fantasy land generator until I liked a name.
And that one worked. Yeah.
Welcome to World.
You guys are known for your timber wolves for reasons. However, these
the Amazons fight them.
Yeah, not laser wolves. That's for sure.
ride them.
No one's even heard of a laser
Oh my
wolf.
god, do we ever? Except I put braids in mine and like really cute bows, which is why they don't let that one out in public anymore.
And glitter.
Glitter everywhere.
bombed it.
These ones are infected with some kind of strange, like they're partially robot, but it seems like it's an infection, like a growth that's happening. So they have like robotic claws and limbs, and indeed their tails are perched upright like a scorpion, and there is a laser on the end of their tail. So they are indeed laser wolves.
So these are the infamous laser wolves.
You told us there weren't laser wolves.
I didn't see that coming.
I feel so lied
This
to.
is bullshit.
A twist.
Such a twist.
And so, like, the door gets thrown open, and we just see this a small army. And he looks back and goes, "That's why we need a wizard."
Yep. But look, lots of things for me to punch.
I was going to say, I think there's a lot of things to punch as well.
Yeah, like my sister. Maybe that's awkward.
She is in the midst of Wesley would recognize this. She's feeding on Princess Dahlia. She's feeding on her memories. She's like draining them from her as we speak.
In classic cartoon style, you just see a scene of Wesley like pushing the badger up. "Excuse me, Badgerton," and he just like moves him out and then closes the door as he's protesting.
He's just standing there, mouth agape, like.
Yeah. And I do that like classic like teeter, and then just slide him out of the door, and then close the door, latch it closed. Okay. Great.
Okay, this. What to punch first?
Everything. And Wesley reaches in and he pulls out this bow, and the bow is like fire engine red, and it looks super metal, and it looks like a BC Rich Warlock guitar, but a bow. And he like wing, and he pulls on it, and it makes musical notes because why wouldn't it? It's the 80s. It makes like one guitar strum, wing, as he pulls the bow and gets ready to fire on some laser wolves.
Cool. So initiative in this works with you don't have to roll anything. It's just we're judging it based on your quick number.
Cool.
Your quick approach, whoever has the highest.
I'm too quick to quit.
2.
A 2.
I also have 2.
All right.
Yeah, 0 quick.
I'm 0 quick.
Slowest magician.
0 quick.
Yeah, slow.
In different types of encounters, different approaches might be used, but this is like the initiative, so speed is the most important.
It's common sense.
Oh, right, you're super flashy. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
With pizzazz.
I'm also very sneaky.
While I get this organized real quick, commercial break. You guys describe what commercial is happening right now.
I got it. We are action figures, and when you squeeze Vesper's belly, her hand shoots out like a punch, and then it explodes into like a glitter bomb.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And then mine is I don't know what mine and Wesley's would be.
I know what mine is. Mine is it's Wesley with a bow in hand, and he only has like this kind of articulation. And when you press the button on his back, the bow insults you.
Yeah, I was gonna say the bow was the only thing.
Yeah, it has pre-recorded insult lines.
And there's kids like playing with these things.
Yeah.
Get
like,
2
you
for the
suck.
price of 1.
Oh goodness.
Today only.
What would Luna's be?
I feel like Luna's is somehow its own like magic trick that like the actual figure can turn into flowers.
Yeah, something like that. Or out of the top hat.
Yeah, out of the top hat.
You extend the hand into jazz hands and flowers just shoot out of the top hat.
There we go.
Perfect.
But it's like all the robot action figures from the 80s where it's like the missile that shoots out, so it like clicks in and you just close the lid of the hat and it rockets out. That's the first part of the toy you lose, and then it's just
not really
now
fun
it just
after
does
that.
this, and now you're like, oh crap.
Superheroes.
Fighting
All right,
through the Hyperwoods.
we return to the mist scene.
We're done with these toys.
And Vesper, your sister, I pulled up her sheet and remembered her name. Evan Song is finishing draining the memories of Princess Dahlia and makes eye contact with you, but doesn't seem to recognize you. And you're going first, Vesper.
Sister, hi. Dun, dun, you know, Amazon Kingdom, we got this whole... Okay, I'm just gonna punch.
So these wolves are strategically placed between them.
Of course. So I'm just gonna punch the first wolf that's coming up to me.
Wait, is she like a goth glamazon?
Well, because most of I'm actually the only glamazon in my like kingdom. I'm the only one that's really glittery. Otherwise, it's like Amazons. They take this pretty seriously.
All I can think of is like, so you're like an 80s hairband, right? Because obviously, and she's like an 80s metalhead, right? Where she's got like, your hair's all like huge and full of secrets, and hers is just like black and down.
Yeah.
Yes,
sad
she definitely
eyeliner
looks
on.
very different.
Yeah.
She went through her goth phase in the Hyperwoods, so.
Yeah, it tracks.
Black nail polish, everything. Love it.
Yep.
So you could try and get past things by overcoming an obstacle and they present like a opposition, or you can just run up and attack them too. Or you can create an advantage, are your big things, right? You're like attack, overcome, or create an advantage. And creating an advantage in fighting would be, you know, I'm like doing a battle cry or something to get myself hyped. Or I'm talking up my friend in order for them to get a bonus. It's creating an aspect that people can tap into, right? So maybe it's high ground, or maybe it's shattered wall or something like that, right?
Yeah, she's very let's punch first, ask questions later kind of girl.
Cool.
First talk later, mostly punch first. I think she's just really used to talking to Wesley at this point, so that's how she's gotten to be a little bit more talkative than usual. So she's gonna try to, if there's a wolf in her way, she's just gonna go straight up and punch that thing.
Yes.
They look like the wolves from my home, but they are not my wolves. Therefore.
Oh, I have an image, you guys. What a fool I am. Here we go.
Jeez, about what our laser wolves look like?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna punch that thing. And I'm gonna use Power Gauntlet, because that was one of the two favorites I chose, because that seems so good, which is the first time you forcefully attack in a conflict, add +3 to your roll. So I'm just gonna really punch this guy.
Sweet.
I'm assuming it's a guy. I don't know. Maybe it's like genderless. I have no idea what these things are like. These laser wolves, if they've been genetically modified. Cool. So I have to do a forceful roll. Is that what I do?
Yes.
Perfect. Because that's what I'm good at. So 2 + 3 to my roll. So that's a +5.
Dang.
I am a superb puncher.
All right. Sorry, I'm the worst at Roll20. I was trying to move these layers around, and I'm like, oh god.
All good.
I'm like this game is usually played with index cards and dice around a table, and that's how I'm used to it. But I apologize. All right. So you rolled a 5, and I am defending. They're defending forcefully because they are muscular. Yeah.
I'm gonna get glitter in their eyes. It'll be fine. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes, and you have a 5.
Yeah, I do.
Total. So behind the curtain, when you have like succeeded past a certain point, the number of shifts, like you beat them by 5 shifts, right? Then that deals them 5 stress, and you guys can see stress in like the bottom right of your character sheet. That's your hit points. kind of. They refresh. Stress like is healed at the end of every encounter. So it's literally just stress, right? If you suffer enough stress that all your boxes are checked and you're still getting hit, then you take consequences, which are to the left. And those are aspects of your character that'll be like a broken leg or, punctured lung or something that then needs to be healed over the course of sessions, right? So they're like lingering wounds that are aspects to your character that I could invoke against you, right? That I'm like, oh, because I had a character who was missing an arm, who took a severe consequence. And so the GM would invoke against me of like, anytime I was climbing or something, they're like, you're taking a -2 because you have no arm, right? So you charge forward. I didn't say how many of these wolves there are, but there are 3. You charge forward and cleave through this wolf, and it is split apart, and on the insides are all like digital weird circuit boards and electricity shock, lightning electricity is going through the air, and it is like quivering and crashes to the ground and starts smoking, and so that thing is defeated.
That is not normally how those wolves go down, but I will take it. I made it so stressed out.
Perfect. So that was Vesper's turn, and Wesley is up. And I think you're muted, Mike.
Am muted. What do I want to do? Have I fought these dogs before? These laser? I guess I haven't fought a laser wolf before. So there's one laser wolf left, and then her sister.
Two laser wolves and the sister. Yeah.
And the sister. Okay, cool. What is? You know what? I don't want to. She's got 2 fists, and there's 2 laser wolves. That's plenty. I assume this is a bedroom, so there's things around the bedroom. I basically want to scamper around the room and get to ex-princess Gothasan. And I want to... does she seem distracted devouring memories?
Yes.
Okay, great. I would like to bound over to her and sort of jump onto her, because I'm small and I assume she's also 6 and change. So I would like to leap onto her and drain her memories, because I haven't eaten yet, because the pie was made out of worms.
But she is undead, so it won't work on her.
Oh damn! It doesn't work on her. Okay, well, poop.
I'm sorry.
It literally says that. Some people are immune to that because they're undead. Well, shit. Okay. In that case, I rewind all the things that I said, and I crouch down behind one of Vesper's giant thighs, and I pull out the bow and boom, fire an arrow at this laser dog. Laser wolf.
We've done this enough times that you've learned how to use me as cover.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a tiny, lithe body. I'm going to protect you by killing things quickly. So I shoot one of the laser wolves, the one that is most in Luna's way, so that she can kick some ass. So
cool.
You need a roll from me, and I don't know what that roll would be. I assume because I'm taking some kind of cover behind Vesper, that it would be a careful roll.
Yeah, careful is used for characters who are aiming and whatnot. You can justify being I'm being careful about this shot.
Cool. So I will say this, because I have a living bow that adapts and learns, do I have enough experience fighting regular wolves to kind of figure out how to kill a cyber wolf?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because these things are from from the land that you've lived for a time, right?
So that gives me a boost based on my prior experience? What does that mean?
Yeah, a boost is like an aspect, but it's just a one-time use.
Okay, so it's essentially like a +1 then, right?
Yeah. So you're well, it's a +2. If you invoke an aspect, it is a +2, right?
Cool.
So I'm going to put a boost out on this board.
Cool. And I can use that right now, right? Is that how that works?
You sure can. Yeah. Then I guess I don't really have to put this out.
Yeah.
Here,
no, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that shit right away.
What do you think this is like the weak spot of the wolves?
Yeah, I mean it's the weak spot of the regular wolf, right? So like in hunting, right, you want to aim for its heart to take it down as quick as possible. So that's where I'm aiming, right? So like broadside of the wolf behind its like left haunch, and yeah, I'm gonna shoot this wolf with a sweet arrow. So it's that +2, so it's great.
Cool. It would make sense that I would be defending with quick because they're trying to dodge out of the way.
It also rolled a 4v4.
Ooh. So in this situation, you can spend a fate token if you want to invoke an aspect that would narratively help you. Right? Like an aspect of your character that you're like, I am a archer, or
I am. Oh, you know what? I am an archer. But the term is I'm actually the man at arms of the castle. So I'm trained in all kinds of weapons and warfare, despite the fact that he doesn't know why he's trained in warfare. So yeah, like this. That's what I'll do. I will invoke that aspect. Memory vampire man at arms is the aspect that I'm invoking. Because I am trained in combat, so I would have been able to see its dodge coming and anticipate because of my memories that I don't have. And a talking bow, who told me where to shoot. So yeah, basically the man-at-arms thing is what I'm doing, to calculate where it's going to dodge to hit it in the chest.
Perfect. So you're beating it by 2, and this is like some stuff that happens in Fate, right? Because I also have fate tokens. So I am going to invoke. We can see we got cards out on the field. Overturned furniture is an aspect, a situational aspect of this scene. So I'm going to spend a fate token. I have these red ones out here. In order to invoke the overturned furniture. So my narrative justification is that there's a bunch of cover in the way, right? Because there's this furniture that's been scattered around the room. So that is hindering your shot. So we're back at a tie, right? So then it becomes kind of gamble of like, how much do you want to invest in succeeding in this moment?
You know, man.
You can continue to invoke aspects, but you can only invoke a single aspect once.
Yeah, I don't think the other ones apply to this. Although, you know what? I don't. No one knows because it doesn't happen often. I'm going to invoke a fate point and invoke one of the aspects that are on the board. So I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice one of these fate points because we're learning. There's a dangerous rift about, and no one knows how it works. And the cover that you're behind gets sucked into the Hyperwood as the arrow flies through and hits that dang wolf.
Sweet. That's cool. Is this starting to make sense to you guys? Like the like little gamble and whatnot? Cool. All right. So you beat it by 2.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay.
Yes.
So it suffers 2 stress. The arrow pierces into its weak spot and it opens its mouth and yelps, but it's like an 8-bit like wolf yelping sound. Like it's like
love it.
And it staggers back, but this beast is still up. And it is actually their turn. So as pack hunters, they both raise their tails together and begin firing lasers upon you. And they're shooting at Vesper, who ran up and I said cleaved, but I forgot that you have a gauntlet. So I think you just smashed through one of their heads, right? One of their robotic heads.
She cleaved with the gauntlet. She just karate chops it like it's SpongeBob.
And then it's just a smoldering, smoking wreck. And so they're angered by their companion having been felled by you. So they are opening fire with rapid fire laser weapons attached to their tails. So you make a defense, and it would make sense to do quick unless you can narratively justify something else that I would buy using a different approach.
What's my quick? Oh, it's actually not bad. It's a great question whether or not it would. Yeah, I think it's probably just goes with quick for right now to see if we can just dodge this bad boy. Pretty much where we're going. I don't know where that's gonna go. That's not going very far.
Oh, and also these are, I didn't say this, but they're kind of firing together. So they're using teamwork in the same way that you guys did earlier. So it's a +1. So it's actually a 4, but they're not attacking separately. And so that is helpful in a way, right? So
yeah,
you could invoke aspects if you want to succeed. Or also, like, the more that you get closer to succeeding, the less damage you're taking, right? The number of shifts that I beat you by is how much stress you'll take.
How much stress I'll take.
Yeah.
So what I could do is either I can invoke one of my aspects if I can kind of sell you on that working. Or I could expend fate in theory to utilize something else. Like if I wanted to say use the overturned furniture to help block some of that.
Yeah, you can invoke all aspects the same, whether it's a situational aspect, which is the overturned furniture, or like your character's aspects, where you're like, I'm a Glamazon, so I'm good at I'm good at running and leaping and whatever. So whatever you can narratively justify. Yeah,
I'm gonna go with the overturned furniture. I'm gonna say that there's this table that's actually nearby me, and so I'm using that to help kind of like I pick it up to block it really, as opposed to hiding behind it.
Yes, perfect. So that gets you up to a 3.
Okay.
And they're at a 4.
So and a little fate point, right? That's what I'm doing.
Yes. Cool. Yeah. I'll put people's names in those. I totally blanked on that. And so they beat you by 1, so you take 1 stress.
Okay, I'll deal with that.
Yeah, and it's just a little checkbox. You just check the 1. If you took like 3 stress, then you can check the 3 or the 1 and the 2. You're like adding up to the amount of stress you're taking. That's probably the weirdest thing in Fate to wrap your head around, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So that was their turn.
I'm wildly stressed out over this.
Evan's song, your sister, has finished draining the memories and is holding on to Princess Dahlia and is making for the rift. So she's moving towards it. And is anyone chasing after her? What is your guys? I know, Luna, you're going to be next. We can basically initiate a chase, like a contest, to try and catch her.
Actually, can I? So with magic, we make things disappear and reappear. Can I try to make her disappear and like a pillow or something appear in her place?
Like swap the print.
Swapperoo, yeah.
Swap Dahlia with a pillow?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Cool. I'm cool with that. So what is that, flashy, do you think?
Or sneaky, because I'm trying to get away with it.
I think that's cool.
Cool.
All right.
Suck the memories out of that pillow.
Oh,
What did that pillow remember?
Jeez, Kai. No wonder you're not a princess anymore.
I think this is going to be an active, like Evan's song is actively defending against this because it's kind of a trick magic, I guess. Or, well, maybe I'll just say this is a passive defense. So I think this challenge, in which case I would judge it on this ladder, right? Like how hard on the ladder in the bottom left would this be? And I think it's probably a great challenge because it's in her hand. You don't want to like swap both of them, and it's hard to distinguish where they are. So you're almost there. If you want to invoke an aspect, then you would succeed.
And I can only evoke an aspect like once per session? No,
in a single roll, you can only invoke one aspect, every aspect once.
Oh.
So if you really need to hit something, then you can be like, I'm trained in the circus, I'm an illusionist, I got this, and then these situational aspects, but you have to pay for all of them.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And they still cost fate.
They cost fate tokens unless you guys take a turn to create an advantage, which those then become free.
So I still need to use my fate, but I'm trained in the circus, so I'm going to use that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. You've done this trick before in the circus, right? Cool. All right, you succeed, and so there is a pillow in Evansong's hand, and Dahlia has been placed on and curled up at the top of the bed. Success.
In the pillow spot. Perfect.
And
That's not my sister.
what is there like a flash or like a sparkle, like sparkling, like glow or something when your magic happens?
I wasn't thinking.
Oh, you muted.
Oh, we lost you. You're muting.
I wasn't thinking that anything like that would happen, but
It's just like a blink and then it's
yeah,
they're
then it
swapped.
happened. Yeah.
Cool. Perfect.
Can the pillowcase now be covered in flowers? Like it wasn't a patterned pillowcase before, and then now it's got flower patterns.
But now it is.
Yeah.
That's the downside of the magic, is it just becomes flowery.
Everything is flowered patterned.
I love that.
We are back up to the top with Vesper.
Cool. I'm going to try to go after my sister then. Seeing that she's trying to escape, even though she's trying to escape now with a floral pillow. I probably still haven't put 2 and 2 together. That floral pillow, Dahlia, which is a name that is a flower, like, haven't put the 2 together that they're different. So I still think she's running away with somebody.
Yeah, it's your sister who's been lost for many years, so...
So I'm going to try to go after her and see if I can't stop her somehow.
Okay, cool. So in situations like this, one of the mechanics that we can do is a contest. So basically, we take turns going back and forth, and this is happening like in a single round, but we're judging the results of it based on a couple rolls.
Yeah.
So if we're both rolling off, and whoever gets the higher result gets like a success, and the first person to 3 succeeds. And this is going to be narrated like each round is like you're running towards her, stumbling over. She's moving towards the portal, right? So it's simulating that kind of struggle back and forth. So how are you doing this? Forcefully?
Yes, because so I still have that table that I pulled up as a shield. So I'm going to try to throw it at her as I try to go towards her.
As like an obstacle that will trip her up?
Exactly.
Cool. All right. She is also...
The old airborne table trick. Classic.
Oh, yeah.
Classic.
I think she is forcefully approaching this as well, because she's smashing through the table as it lands in front of her, right?
I mean, I can see that happening.
Oof. Both rolled bad. Rolled bad.
Yeah.
I'm going to invoke the dangerous rift in the same way that Mike did earlier, and say that you were aiming for it to land right in front of her, but the rift like pulled it in the table.
Okay.
So that puts me at a 2 and you're at a 1. You could invoke something if you want. I'm
going to, I need to. I'm not letting her get away with this. I'm going to go with, I'm going to invoke my Amazon bodybuilder Barbie. Just my favorite aspect. With the, I am forcing this, I'm using every muscle to kind of trip her up quite literally. And
yes.
So, yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So then you're at a 3. I'm at a 2. Ooh, do I want to spend more? I think I'll take that. So you have 1 success on our little contest. So you hurl the table. You hurl the table in front of her, and she it starts to get sucked in, and she's trying to smash through it, and she gets completely just tangled up in this thing.
Yeah.
Because the way you threw it, it got wedged between some of the overturned furniture and whatnot. And so you're gaining on her, right? You're right behind her. And then we're basically doing another exchange, right? And the first to 3, the person who won this contest.
Okay. I'm going to stick with my forceful approach by, can I say that I'm pushing off to leap at her to try to stop her?
Totally.
I'm trying to grapple her, but this is the wrong game for grapple.
Yeah, grappling's a thing. But basically, if you win in this contest, then you stopped her, right?
Cool. Perfect. That
She also is an Amazon, right? So her thews, her muscles are intense, and she's lunging and moving faster than you are. You could invoke to try and get to a tie.
Yeah.
Or you can suffer a loss and then you'll be tied on the best first to three.
I'll let her have this one.
Okay. So
save some of this for other ones.
Cool. So she's starting to pass through the penumbra. She's starting to pass through the skein into the Hyperwoods. And you are like right behind her, and you feel a weird icy chill as you're approaching it. And you see in the distance, within the Hyperwoods, there are all these shadowy creatures that are looming, and you get the impression that if she passes through this without you grabbing hold of her leg or yanking her back, it's a bad idea to pursue her. But these things, Wesley knows that these things can't pass into your realm, right? They're like denizens of the Hyperwoods. All right, so
cool.
One more, or possibly two more. Sorry.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to make a grab for her with my force, as forceful as I can, very forcefully.
Yes. Excellent. All right.
Look how fast I could have rolled.
You lunge forward and grab hold of her leg, and you succeeded with style in this. All together in Fate, if you beat something by 3, you succeed with style.
Nice.
Which means in this situation that you'll get a boost. So basically, you lunged forward, you've grabbed hold of her leg, and you are bear hugging her leg as she's like struggling. She's holding on to one of these creatures, which is like trying to pull her into the rift, and you're holding onto her leg. So you have a boost for the next roll, basically giving you a free +2, right? You have a grapple hold on her.
Perfect. I'm so glad.
And actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I forgot that if you succeed with style on a contest, you get 2 checks. So you have grabbed hold of her leg and yanked her back in, and just then the rift totally closes up.
You are staying put until you explain this entire luck to Mom, because honestly, I'm not feeling this.
She looks at you with blank expression, and she says, "Mom?"
Yeah. Do you not remember me, Vesper, your sister?
No, I do not.
Evensong, it's me, Vesper. What's going on with you?
You have done great wrong today by capturing me, though.
Gonna disagree with you. No. Pretty sure this is a right. And you're gonna have to deal with that.
I just want to say, in typical cartoon fashion, like the foreground is this heart-to-heart that's happening, while you have Wesley and Luna in the background leaping around, still firing and casting magic at the 2 remaining laser wolves. As like, but we're just in the background, so we're kind of half blurred out as this like heart-to-heart happens. And no one worries about pew, pew,
flowers coming out of places and the bow going. Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, the lasers firing from their tails that like
turning into flower petals,
sparkler explosions as Luna is blocking them. Yes, perfect. Yeah, she says this. You've made a great mistake today, and all the forces of the Hyperwoods will come down upon you, princesses. You will rue this day.
No, I'm pretty sure I can just punch that. So
I'm not a princess. Twing. Wow.
That was that attitude, Wesley.
Just then, a slew of Burrow Warden guards tromp down the hallway behind you guys.
Oh, that's good.
Leading into Queen Claudia, who looks furious at this situation. And I think we'll take that as our end.
Yeah. You're one of those black, like, closing circles. It's like, and it closes on an angry Claudia face.
And then the other theme plays. Because there's always two cartoon themes, right? The second one is the weird anime one.
Right before it closes, too, one of those lasers, like, shoots out of the hole, you know? Like...
Yes.
It's the anime exit where it's like the first one is like super metal and like lasers and combat happens, and the second one is just slow and we're just walking and the scene changes to like different locations as we like play golf and do like mundane things.
Goes from night to day. You see the sunset.
Casual chibi art goes by as we walk.
It's transitioning
the bow.
The bow's walking too.
The bow walks during this, or bounces.
What is this show? This is perfect. I don't know what to say. Guys, that was episode 1 of Princesses of Skysea, and it went as well as I thought it could. So, perfect. I had no idea what to expect based on Keith's one-shot that he ran, and I was not let down. This was insane. So let's go around, do our introductions, and then we'll go raid a friend of ours. So we'll start with Kai. Kai, first of all, welcome back. Thank you for being here. Who are you? Where can we find you? And for episode 1, what did you think of Princesses of Skysea?
Oh, I'm so excited for it. It took me a minute to get into it because I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I really don't know my character yet. But now that I am, I cannot wait till next week already.
Hell yeah.
And then I forgot what else I was supposed to say. Oh, I'm Stonefly_Kai. And I have brain cells still. I do Twitch and Twitter. Yep.
And art.
Check me out there. And art. I do art.
Yes. Mm-hmm. The art you see behind her is hers. You can find it on Instagram.
It is. On Instagram.
Don't worry. I know your pitch. It's fine. Let's jump right over. Let's jump right over to Natalie. Who are you? Where can we find you? And what did you think of episode 1 of Princesses of Skysea?
This is hilarious. Kind of like I wasn't sure where I was going to be. Like, I knew where I was going with Vesper, but not entirely. But I'm loving this direction. And I'm loving what this is just turning into Vesper and Wesley's like buddy cop. Yeah. It's just ridiculous, and I love it. And it's so weird.
Out of control.
It's gonna be fantastic. So much chaos. It's gonna be great. Which, speaking of, that's how you can find me on Twitter. So my name is Natalie. I go online as Chaotic Rogue, which is where you can find me on Twitter, which is the best place to follow the shenanigans that I am up to. If you want to watch more of me streaming, I will be on Encounter Roleplay tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, where I will be playing in Little Buster's The Tales from the Loop Things from the Flood game, which is ramping up with a lot of weird alien activity. So, and I have other streams, but they're not this week. They'll be the following week. So that's all good. But also tomorrow, I was one of the writers for the Uncaged Anthology, Volume 1, and we are nominated for an Emmy, and voting opens tomorrow, and I'm really excited. So if you like it, please vote for it. I do a bunch of other things, including with the Mage College, where we create 5e D&D content. I don't know. Follow us on theMageCollege.com.
Perfect.
Probably make somebody else do that pitch. So I don't even know. I do a lot of weird stuff. That's my life.
That's how you do a pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a slow week. That's a scary part.
Now try to figure it out, Keith. See if you can follow that up. But yeah, speaking of Keith, who are you? Where can we find you? And what did you think of episode 1 of Princesses of Skysea?
Yes, I'm Keith. You can find me at @mcomponents on Twitter or @materialcomponents on Twitch. I run an after-school program here in Nashville teaching kids tabletop role-playing games and heroic morality and nonviolent conflict resolution using a Powered by the Apocalypse system game of our own creation that we're going to be opening up to closed beta soon. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. Check us out at materialcomponents.com or theheroesguild.com if you're interested in starting your own branch or whatnot. Yeah, that's my stuff. But I loved that's my stuff. But yeah, I had a great time with Princesses of Skysea. Sorry for extra clunkiness of learning a new system, but I mean that comes with it. But I'm sure you guys can kind of see that it is a really flexible, like kind of whatever the hell you're wanting to describe. Like there's a way to make it happen, which is really pretty freeing. In comparison to something like D&D where you're like, I don't have a spell that does the kind of thing that I'm imagining. This is like a much kind of more freeing. And you've basically seen 90% of the mechanics of Fate. So yeah, so now it will hit the ground running in the future. But thanks for playing along, you guys, in this wacky wild world.
This was super fun. Thank you so much for being here, chat. Thank you so much for filling that bar. That bar not only adds chaos to the game, but it also is a way to help pay these wonderful cast members here, whether they're here or not today. They're also getting paid every time, or actually no matter when that bar gets filled. All the money goes to them. That being said, if you guys want to support the channel, please go check out our Patreon. That's the best way to do that. And if you are not following, hit that follow button. And if you're not in our Discord, you're missing out, because I'm about to post the sketches of our characters from this game, because we just got all 4 sketches finally done. We'll be moving on to colored art for those shortly, but they're super awesome, and I can't wait to show them off. They are so good. I'm so excited about this game and about that art. That being said, we're going to go raid our friend Little Red Dot, who you guys can see here on Thursday, playing some Men of Letters. She's currently playing the Purloin Code, which is a Blades in the Dark. No, not Blades in the Dark. Scum and Villainy game to counter ours on Monday. So tune in next Monday for that. So go check her out. Give her all of your hot, sticky raid love. And from all of us to you guys, bye-bye.